and welcome to Seagulls Social. This is the Nottingham Forest match reaction, and what a win, boys! 2-0. Come on, the boys. We're fifth in the league. We're absolutely flying. Great away performance from the boys. A very, very professional job. Even though there was a few shaky moments, it looked pretty comfortable in the end. I know hindsight's a beautiful thing, but I thought it was a great performance. Great Brighton Hove Albion performance. Before we get into it, boys, as always, how is everyone? Jack, we'll start with you. How are you, mate? How's your weekend?
Yeah, man. I had a good weekend. Went to a gig on Friday. That was good.
That's not like you.
Yeah, I know. That was the last
Wait,
gig.
Jack, can I guess your weekend? I mean, I've already got part one done. I would have said gone to a gig on Friday, so that's Saturday, under 12s match in the morning.
Nope.
And then Brighton senior team. No, as you know, because we played on Sunday.
Sunday.
Were the women team playing or a non-league game?
No, none of those things.
So what else would you do in your life?
I went to a football league ground.
Oh, wait,
You went to
what? As like a stadium tour?
No, I went to Doncaster versus Peterborough.
Oh,
Well, there you go. Okay, sorry, football.
Yeah. That was
Sunday.
number 90 out of 92 for me.
Did you go drinking? Or was that
I did. I stayed the night in Grantham.
fair?
Not much going on in Grantham. Actually, weird anecdote from Grantham.
Heard of that?
Grantham is the birthplace of Margaret Thatcher, who is
That's
dead.
not where Ben. That's not where
Who is-
Ben
who-
knew that
who's
from.
dead. Margaret Thatcher, who is
Ben, do you know who Margaret Thatcher is, Ben?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
What was she? She went out of Prince Charles, didn't she?
I know he's taking the piss here.
Yeah.
Right.
I was worried for a split second.
No, but I went for a curry, right, in this place, and the front of the restaurant,
Thatcher.
it said something Chinese restaurant. So I went in there, sat down, got the menu, it was all curry, had a nice curry, but everything was about a Chinese restaurant. All the
Was it called
receipts-
not a Chinese restaurant?
Yeah, it was bizarre, but anyway. And then I went to a rock bar in Grantham that had a picture of Professor Green and Tupac on the wall. Those massive...
What, to get pictured together?
No, not together.
AI was doing numbers back then.
Yeah. But I was just like, those rock icons, Professor Green. So anyway, but yeah, other than that, it was a good weekend.
Nice.
I went to Nottingham.
Yeah, lovely. Hooters to finish it all off.
Didn't go to Hooters actually. No. Good friend of mine. Listener to the show, Joe O'Neill.
Works at Hooters.
He went to Hooters, to my knowledge. So good for him. Hope he had a nice time. In
Just
there.
completely done him there.
I wish I never asked that. I wish I never asked how you were now. But
Yeah.
I'm joking.
I'll do
Ben,
mine quickly.
yeah, go on. Ben.
Yeah, had a fun Christmas do on Friday with a few other
Ah.
couples. Doing a couple of things now, obviously.
You're the couple, mate.
Yeah,
Girlfriend? No way.
Girlfriend, yeah.
Oh my days! How'd you pull that one off, mate?
I know. No idea.
She didn't get me a Vietnamese Percy Tau shirt.
She
though.
didn't get you a post.
Oh, that's
No.
bang out of order.
What's the point?
For context,
What's the point of having a
Jack did
girlfriend?
ask.
She can't get you a Percy Tau t-shirt from.
That is true. Yeah, for context, Jack asked Ben's girlfriend if she could grab him a Percy Tau shirt from Vietnam, which sadly didn't happen. Which is it's actually very selfish of her, to be honest. But
I agree.
carry on.
Saturday I had a mate's 30th, and then Sunday had a family round for dinner, and that Sunday lunch, and watched the Brighton game. Watched loads.
Nice.
It was great.
Love that.
And you,
Well,
Buzz?
it was my dad's birthday, so I hosted an Iranian feast on Sunday whilst watching homemade, boys, by the way, just to put it out there. 5 hours I was in the
It looked
kitchen.
great.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. And then, watched the Brighton game. So, great weekend, fantastic weekend. So let's get into it, boys. We've spent 5 minutes waffling about our weekends. So let's actually talk football, shall we? Because that's what we're here to do. So,
Speaking of 5, we are 5th.
yeah, I mean, look at that.
Thank you. I did want to quickly say, and I know I shouldn't do this, and I love doing it though. If we had got 2 points against Fulham without conceding the last minute, if we had beaten Wolves, given them that 1 point that only another team have done, and if we maybe got a point away at Everton, we'd be second place, boys. Isn't that mental?
To quote a famous cancelled
Michael
man,
Owen, yeah.
a cancelled man, if my grandmother had wheels, she'd be a bike.
I was about to say the same quote.
But she doesn't. So
But it's cool,
I mean,
though. Like five more points.
Ben, if I was 6'5", I'd be playing in the NBA.
Well, you have to have basketball ability as well, eh?
Well, I have. You haven't seen me dribble some balls, eh? Hey! Anyway, let's move on, shall we? Right, fantastic win, great win off the bat. And a few tinker. Let's start with the selection because he did tinker slightly with the team. Obviously, Baleba, which we spoke about extensively in our preview, Baleba did get dropped eventually. So he actually went for a Weaver and a Yari midfield, and then it was he not? Was he not?
No, Weaver started.
I still don't know.
I'm just confused though because it looked like he was. Because
No, this is.
go on, Jack. You tell us how.
Yeah, tell it how it is.
Yeah.
I was. What was it? It was more of a. Yeah, Weaver at right back and a Yari and Gomez in midfield is what I thought it was.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That makes
I
sense.
mean, you said you watched the first half.
No, I did. I watched the. Actually, tell a lie. I caught all the second half, and I saw the goal in the first half, and I missed a few bits in the first half because I was still cooking. You know,
we were treated to like 5 minutes of Weaver in midfield as the game went on at some point. But yeah, for the majority
Gomez and Yari.
What I couldn't figure out was who was it? De Kuyper was playing left wing, or was Ferdy playing left wing? And who was left?
Nah,
They were just constantly changing. It seemed
100% now the masterstroke by Fabian. And look, it's all changed since the Arsenal pod, isn't it? Like you now.
We are going to get onto that, Jack. We're going to hold you accountable. We're going to do a HMRC on
good.
Jack.
Good.
about time.
About time, yeah. And real HMRC as well, because
You don't be paying your taxes.
yeah. But no, I think like the real masterstroke to bring in De Kuyper to play that lot of left wing role. It did look like at times De Kuyper was the further up. But the interchangeability between, that's a new word, isn't it? Interchangeability between the two of them on that left side was really, really good. You had 30 running up the wing, running down the wing, and overlap and everything. Yeah. So, yeah, I thought it was great.
And also as well, let's talk about the first goal actually, because we're talking of De Kuyper. What a great finish on his right peg as well.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic goal. First of all, I was surprised he was there, but I think in the post-match interview it was quite funny. He was like, I used to play up front as a kid, so I knew what I was doing up there. But yeah, it was a fantastic finish, Ben. Talk to me about... Yeah, weak of foot, great finish, and also it was actually good play, generally in terms of the way we actually got it to that position. But yeah, talk to me about the goal in general. Like, how impressed were you with the finish? And yeah, we looked very strong, especially in the first half. I would say we were the better side for the majority of it. And I think Dunkey mentioned it as well in his post-match conference, saying that basically after the first 20 minutes, he said it's the best football we've played all season, that's what he said. That's what he thought. Which, yeah, it was hard to disagree with, really.
I guess I'd agree. It was definitely up there. It feels like if we even just talk about that goal, it looks like that identity is there a little bit more now. I know Glenn Murray said it before the game about we're lacking an identity, but
he's got another thing he said as well, which we're gonna get onto. But yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I think the goal was brilliant. Like the setup play was great. I think did it look like a little bit of a dummy from Welbeck? I think he had awareness of where De Kuyper was coming in and he would have space there. To me, it looked like it was going to go to Welbeck, but yeah, it's a very clever play to miss it, and what a finish with his weaker foot from De Kuyper. And yeah, great little pass from Rutter to spot him. I think it was an unbelievable goal. Great time to do it as well, just for half times even. So
yeah, for sure. Jack just finishing his cough. Well done. Well remembered, sir. Well done. And yeah, Jack, talk to us about that first goal. What were you most impressed about? Because it did seem like a great team goal, whether Welbeck meant it or not, whether Rutter meant it or not. It did look like a very fluid goal.
Yeah, I mean, probably worth touching on more so just like our beginning, the way we started the game. I mean, we started the game like, I haven't seen a start a game like that. And I'm not using comparison, but we haven't started a game like that away from home since probably under De Zerbi, and I thought that was really, really good. Thought it was the way that we sort of just sustained pressure. We just kept it on, and a little bit of the, typical Brighton kind of idea seeped into my mind that we're going to have all these shots, and there's just going to be a barrage of shots at goal, and then all of a sudden, we concede from a Forest counter-attack, but we managed to deal with any of that, and yeah, we just carried on going and get it just before half-time. There's not really a more perfect time to get a goal, and it was a lovely sort of team goal. It was sort of how we've been trying to do that sort of move all game. I thought Minter had Minter watch in the comments again, I'm sure, but Minter had a good game. His work rate again was superb, and he just did chance after chance after chance, sort of creating in that sort of area, running it to the byline, maybe not coming off every time, and then finally, after all that sustained pressure, he managed to get the ball out to Jorginho, and then across the goal. And I mean, what a little what a lovely run by the Kuiper. And I think maybe sort of playing a left back there, maybe they weren't sort of, they're not marking players out the game like they do with Mitoma. And he could just drift in behind. Gap opened up with a lovely finish into the bottom corner.
Yeah. And like you said, the timing of it was really, really good. Like 45+1. And I was just looking as well. Flashscore do like a nice little Opta sort of momentum chart. And yeah, first 20 minutes, all for us. But then from 30 to 45, it did swing a little bit. So to get a goal in that moment, to then sort of maybe, because I think let's be frank, they did have maybe a bit of a hangover maybe from Europe, because obviously they played on Thursday night, so they might have had a bit of a hangover. Maybe that's why they started so slowly. And then in the second half, we saw they did have plenty of the ball, and they did have a lot of chances. So maybe we capitalised on it, which I think is what I'm happy with, to see that we actually capitalised on a team maybe not playing their best football and looking a bit lagged, or whatever you want to describe it as.
It wouldn't be jet lag, because they would have only come from Nottingham. But
no. I mean, no. I mean, I don't, when I say lagged, I mean as in like not jet lagged, as in
tired.
Yeah, lagging,
fatigued.
Lagging. Yes,
Yeah.
fatigued. Yes, yeah. So yeah, it was good. It was good that we capitalised on that, because sometimes we do see a Brighton side where we do look at a better side. We do create chances, but we don't, put onto the exactly. So the fact we did that just for half time, it was fantastic. And also as well, I want to speak about Kadoglu, because Jack, you were very impressed with Kadoglu throughout the whole game, and also his form has been fantastic. He's really shown in the last few weeks how good he's actually been. How important do you feel like he's been towards the recent successes? I know we've had a bit of consistency's been a bit of a thing, but it seems like he's been Mr. Consistent.
Yeah.
So how important is that to the team?
I thought he was great in that first half. I thought he was just running down the wing, and he managed to get that ball. He provided a great outlet. Like I said, he provided a great sort of partnership with De Kuiper on that wing. And yeah, I think a lot of good stuff that we created came through him in the first half. And I think he's showing what a £30 million player that we bought, which we paid for him, because we did pay £30 million. I think people kind of forget that. And showed what a shame it was that we didn't quite get to see him at his best last year, obviously with injury, and he never, just as he seemed to get running, he then got injured. And I think there's been this sort of long rumour that he is a right back, but I think it's quite clear to me now, like, he's a left back player. He's just right-footed, and that's something we've got to get used to. And I do think in English football we do struggle with the kind of European idea that you can have an inverted fullback. I mean, we've had some very good inverted fullbacks in England, don't get me wrong, over the years, but it's something that can seem a bit alien to maybe the football purists. And yeah, I think he's really, really good at that left back role. He's so versatile. I mean, I think he could probably do a shift at right back. He can move up to the wing. He can move into midfield. He could do whatever he wants, really. So yeah, for me, I think Kadoglu is sort of, is a player who I think maybe in pre-season we were kind of going a bit like, where does he fit into the team? Especially when
I think there was someone on this podcast, Jack, a certain Ben Spalding.
Was it? Well,
he did doubt Kadoglu's ability.
Well, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I think I would be. That's me and a lot of other fans that probably did that.
Yeah,
that did doubt him. But yeah,
I always had faith, mate, because I know ball.
Right.
So
sure.
Marshall.
No, I think it was fair to doubt him. He didn't really show it at all.
He was injured last season. I don't think that's fair to judge him on a season he was injured. Pretty much.
Well, was this the beginning of the season? When he was? I remember his first few appearances didn't really prove too much. Maybe it's unfair because he's coming off the bench. I don't know. But Jack, it's interesting you say that, because when the lineups came out, a lot of like publishers and stuff like that had him at right back and De Kuiper at left back. I was thinking, oh my god, we're actually going to see that pairing at full back, which you've been saying the whole time isn't happening. So I was excited to see that. But obviously,
it wasn't.
Figuring out how it worked on the left of De Kuiper further up and Ferdy actually at left back was great to see, because Ferdy was good to. Yeah, you were pretty right, because you mentioned that he can play midfield as well, and he was cutting inside quite a lot, and showed a lot of issues to Forest.
Nice segue, Ben. Actually, talking of midfield, I thought it was interesting. Like we've mentioned already, Baleba being dropped, and then Elliot Anderson. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about how good he is. I think I've seen him linked now with Manchester City. Obviously, linked with
100 million apparently.
Yeah, some big price tags. And to be fair to him, I thought he had a pretty solid game. I was just looking at his his defensive stats, and I believe he won like 14 out of his 16 ground duels, which is quite impressive.
He is yeah. I know I joked about 100 million. He's a tiny player.
Mate, the energy he brings to that midfield as well. So, Ben, we'll start with you. How important was it to nullify that, that threat of the midfield, and how good of a job do you think Ayari and Gomez did in doing that?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I think having Weaver. Well, we said that Weaver was right back there, so it doesn't really.
Yeah.
Well, I did say Yari and Gomez, but yeah.
Did you? Oh god, I thought you said Weaver. Fuck but yeah, having Gomez in there, I mean, they've got unbelievable engines.
Yeah, Gomez. Gomez got that energy to match.
And Yari, which is why Hürzeler loves them so much. Their pressing is incredible, and they are absolute dogs in the centre midfield. They might not be the biggest guys, but they have energy, and they all constantly be at you. So I think it is good, and it's interesting that Baleba didn't play, and another clean sheet.
Yeah, huge.
Is that why? I know. I also want to talk about Dunk eventually, but sticking with that midfield duo, I thought they're really, really good. Gomez going back into midfield from his stints out on left wing, and I'm not going to say he's forgotten about it, obviously not, because he's been playing centre mid all his life, but yeah, it was great to see him slotting back in there. Just shows how versatile he is as well, which seems like most of our players can just play in so many positions, which Hürzeler clearly likes, and the people that do the lineups don't like because they have no idea what we're playing like at all.
Yeah, to be fair, I didn't have a clue, and
all the managers as well,
fan.
Which is good. I mean, like the teams probably do their analysis on us and think Gomez is going to be playing left wing. They do all their homework on that. Then suddenly you're up against Dyche that they probably have no idea about, marking him as a left winger. So it's good.
I saw a football analyst, actually. He did bring that up about how Hürzeler's adaptability is actually very underrated, and how actually he does make small changes. And for example, his substitutions I thought were pretty bang on in the end, in hindsight. However, in the moment when he brought Veltman on at left back, I was a bit perplexed about that. I was a bit like, that's a bit, but it worked. No, exactly. And like those kind of decisions that you might question about him, actually, when you look back on it, you're like, fair play. He's doing very well. But Jack, I want to ask you, going into the second half, did you feel like it was going to be the same as in the first half where we looked the better side, or did you feel like the momentum would change around? Like, what was the feeling like at half time for you?
Yeah, it's a good question. I'm sometimes a bit of an eternal pessimist, and I do feel like it's very hard, and especially when we're playing that well, to maintain that sort of
will it get to a point where they stop?
Yeah, and of course, like I think any team would struggle to maintain, unless you're playing someone shit, really,
like Wolves.
We weren't very good against Wolves. Someone shit like Southampton last year, it's going to be very hard to maintain that sort of
intensity
and pressure on their goal. So I did have a little bit of a worry that we're going to have to sit back a bit, and we did. It did get a little bit hairy at some points, but I think we always had a sort of control on the game, and I think credit to Hürzeler. Nottingham Forest definitely last year. This year, not so much, but their midfield's been really good, and they're in transition. And I thought Hürzeler did really well at sort of expelling a few demons. I think this win felt like we were expelling a few demons from last year, where we were just dominated. We had the one man in midfield, Jack, running around on his own, which was an incredibly tough watch for I think everyone, because we all want Jack to do well, and to see him like completely outnumbered there. And I think we just we knew what we were doing, and we just it's funny because we had a very brief chat early on before we started the pod about Kadoglu. And Maz had a view that he did get cooked a few times when Hutchinson came on. And obviously it's not his intention to get spun round the outside. That's stupid. No player's intentionally doing that. But it did feel like we had a sort of standoffish kind of attitude to the game. And we were trying to counter them. We were trying to get them on the transition. And it seemed to be working really well. We seemed to be marking the right areas. Every cross that came in, we were winning second balls in our own box. Not so much in midfield. And I think that it just made that platform, and it gave us this good defensive structure. And yeah, I thought we were brilliant, to be honest, in that sense.
And talking of defensive structures, when they do the videos at the end of full time, when like Baleba does his little funny face at the camera and all that, it was interesting. I saw Buscagli, and he didn't look too pleased, or he looked a bit, down really. But I think that's testament. He
don't like shake his hand, and it just kind of moves on really quick.
Yeah, it was a bit of an awkward one, wasn't it?
It'd be frustrating for him though.
No, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Links that he will be gone in Jan on loan at least. Like I think Fenerbahce.
I think it'll be. I think we wouldn't be making a big mistake if we were to let him go, because you never know. One injury to Dunk, one injury to Van Heck, and then we've only got Coppola, the only fit centre back, because Webster's out, long term. So I think that would be a catastrophe if we do. But I personally can't see it happening. I reckon Buscagli, I know he started, was it last game for 45 minutes, but he It's hard to explain.
He only came off of that because of the yellow, right? Do you reckon it was more the risk of the yellow?
Maybe, but I think with Van Heck and Dunkey right now, how can Biscaglia be looking at that going, yeah, I deserve to be in the team? I just don't think he can sit there in his heart of hearts and say, I deserve a spot in that team as of right now because of how well Duncan Van Heck have been playing. Like, how can you justify that as a player? And I'm surely he's got enough about him to be like, right, fair enough. Do you know what I mean? At that level. So,
I think he'll be looking a bit frustrated, but look, that's the nature of being a defender to a certain extent. They're not a player who gets much game time, gets much opportunity to shine, unless it's from the start, really. You don't talk about maybe a little bit more a fullback, but you don't talk about a centre-back coming on.
Impact centre-backs.
Yeah. What I mean. You don't have like an impact centre-back. It's if your defensive team starts well, you're not going to be talked about at the change. If they start badly, you'll just be maintaining the status quo. Though, for me, it obviously can be a bit frustrating, and I do think he's like underutilised considering his like pedigree, because he's got a lot of pedigree. He's a Champions League player, but I think we'd be mad to let him go in January, because there will be opportunities.
And also even if you look at this week, we've got a game on Wednesday, we've got a game again on the weekend. Like, I'm not saying I personally don't want to see too much change, especially defensively. I would love to see Van Heck and Dunkey be throughout that whole period. However, you never know when you're going to need him. For example, if Dunkey's feeling a bit tight on the Tuesday and he's like, look, Gaffer, I need my back's hurting or whatever, any kind of like minor injury.
Back's hurt from carrying the defence.
Yeah, my back's hurting from carrying the team all season. I need a break. Surely that's the time for Biscaglia to come in. I don't see any reason why he should go. But but just quickly, Ben, on that, how good were Van Heck, Verbruggen as well, who made a key save as well in that game. How good is that little trio now looking? Every game it seems like they're all gaining confidence. They're getting much more confident within themselves, and also keeping clean sheet. Like you said, was it 3 out of the last 4 now, which is huge, because we didn't have one for 17 games, which is insane to look back on now.
But you're saying confidence. I think the one would be Bart Verbruggen. He looks like I was going to say a new goalkeeper, but he kind of does. He's just it's mental what that clean sheet done against has done to him. The one picked up at Leeds,
and a new goalkeeping coach as well that came in this season. That could be
maybe that helped as well. And then obviously I think it is also down to Dunk. I think quite a lot of Brighton fans, including some of us, probably owe an apology, saying he was finished.
Sorry, Dunky.
Saying that we needed Biscaglia to come in. Not you, Jack. You sure about that?
I said he needed to be. Yeah, I felt like it was time for him to be on the bench. So I do.
Not me.
A goalkeeper can only be as good as the defence in front of him as well. So the defence did let him down quite a bit during those 18 games that we didn't have a clean sheet or whatever it was. So I can't just blame Verbruggen for that. That's not all down to him. But I think the confidence has done him absolute wonders, and so made some very, very good saves. Even
little things like claiming the ball. Like, again, I remember there was a corner yesterday and he just looked so confident. It was like, admittedly, the Nottingham Forest players didn't really challenge him, but it just looked like he was so effortless with it. And that sort of assertiveness and that confidence to go and grab the ball and pluck it from the air like it was nothing. It's still a busy penalty box. So, like, little things like that, I've seen the changes in him, which is really great to see. Like, you want that, don't you? As a defender, you want a goalkeeper that's confident. But, Jack, just quickly, how happy are you with Verbruggen's rise in form?
Yeah, I mean, that was great. I mean, like you say, he was really, really confident from corners. And again, this game just sort of felt like, as much as we were all singing at the end, 7-0 gives a fuck. Brighton Hove Albion were 2-0 up. It did felt like we did get rid of those things, which sort of, I think a lot of people were very, I mean, me included, I was fuming after that 7-0 defeat. And a lot of the things that we did very, very wrong in that game, because there was a lot that went very, very wrong in that game.
Where'd you start?
And a lot of them, it almost seemed like we were trying to prove the point that we've gotten over those things that got wrong. Because I remember that game, the corners were appalling. Like, the defending from corners, every time the ball went in, we sort of, I remember the flick.
Couldn't string 2 passes together.
Yeah, and the flick on from the near post, I think it was Morgan Gibbs-White who flicked into the top corner when we played them, and the defending was atrocious. And it just seemed like from the corners, I mean, I don't think I've ever watched a corner for Brighton without putting my head in my hands and watching it through that. And we just seemed to be really solid. Verbruggen was up to claim it every single time, and we were defensively really, really good. And we like you say, it is chalk and cheese, really, isn't it? Comparing to how we reacted to the set piece in the previous season. So yeah.
And
sorry,
go on,
I just want to quickly also say, apart from like Gianluigi Donnarumma and maybe Marc-Andre ter Stegen when he was younger, there's not many goalkeepers you say that are very, very good when they are 23 years old. Bart is only 23 years old, which is so young for a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So with experience, with these corner claims and that sort of thing, he's only going to get more confident and more assertive in and around the box whilst playing in these big games in one of the in the best league in the world. As a 23-year-old goalkeeper, it's pretty impressive. I mean, if you think Sanchez, I always think of Sanchez as a young goalkeeper. He's only 28, and he's only just kind of getting good at Chelsea. They've got a new song for him that says he used to be shot and now he's all right. So he's actually doing okay there now. So he's 28 years old.
To be fair, I've seen a few Chelsea fans saying he's better than David Raya, which is insanity. But yeah,
That's
crazy.
Yeah.
I'd say, yeah. I mean, yeah, we got to remember his age. Bart Verbruggen is only.
That's what you're calling him at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, that was his slander name. Yeah.
Just quickly talking about expelling demons, as Jack mentioned, it was quite funny actually. In our preview, there's a few Forest fans had crept into our comments. So just quickly, we'll do a little segment really, because this is good fun, isn't it? It said common Forest you Reds, that's pretty standard. But this guy said, Beef M4J said we're different gravy now. You're happy shopper, we're Bisto, which is the weirdest analogy ever. But you're definitely not Bisto, are you? Because 2-0, so I hold that. And then someone said, Tommy K said, Forest have too much for Brighton. And then El Grande said, you were saying, not sure you know football, bud. I think I might be Jack's burner.
I am in the comments quite a lot.
Yeah, we try to reply as much as we can.
Yeah,
but yeah, we should hopefully we get more rival fans, we can start doing segments where we can just take the piss out of them if we win. That could be quite fun. But we only had 3 comments from Forest fans, so
yeah, it's funny actually because like a lot have been made out of the Forest revival, and they're definitely in a slightly false position. I don't think they're 17th bad. I don't think that's how bad they are. But they've had a bit of a mini revival really under Dyche, and everybody at Brighton always gets very worried about Dyche, don't we? Oh, we can't beat Sean Dyche. But actually, I'm here to tell you why that's bullshit.
There we go.
Basically. So, yes, at the Amex, Sean Dyche has our number many times. He has got many points at the Amex. But away from home, we're currently unbeaten in 6 against Sean Dyche.
And what's that? Everton, Forest.
The last time that we lost to a Sean Dyche team away from home was December 2018, when I can't remember who scored for Burnley, but I do remember Jurgen Locadia missed an absolute sitter.
What? That's not like him. Curaçao's leading
the World Cup, mate.
Goal scorer. Yeah, what are you talking about? Won't have any slander against him.
So yeah, I think we beat Burnley 2-1 the season after that, and then we drew 1-1 with Burnley. Then we beat Burnley 2-1 at Turf Moor. Then we drew with Everton after that at Goodison. We beat Everton 3-0, and now we've done it again against Dyche away from home. So actually, we've done really, really well, and I think it was a bit of a false sort of analogy in that sense. And Forest hasn't always been our happiest of hunting grounds.
No, that's fair to say.
I do remember some bad games, like 7-0
last season. Yeah.
We lost 3-1 under De Zerbi when we almost got Europe. We lost 3-0 in the promotion season, even when we were doing quite well. I think Zach Clough, scored 2. My fact checker will tell me on Saturday.
Yeah, we'll get a VAR check again.
We'll get a VAR check.
As per. But let's talk about the second half. Like we said, obviously Forest did come back into it. To be fair to them, they seem to hold the ball quite well. They started creating chances, especially with Hutchinson coming on. He looked quite lively on that right hand side. Hudson-Odoi coming on as well. He looked like he had a few, 2 tricky wingers. It seems like they were trying to go hit us down the wings, but we look pretty good down both the left and right hand side. But then Simas came on, who came off of Welbeck. We mentioned it, didn't we, off air, Jack, that we were a bit unsure about the timing of the Simas substitution in terms of was it the right time to bring him on at that point? Did Welbeck have a little bit more
coming off in the 56th minute? What was that down to? Just
he got kicked in the
he had concussion, I think.
Oh, I don't. God, yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Concussed, wasn't he?
took a big ball to the face. And who came on to replace him?
Hinshelwood.
Yeah, who actually, do you know what? I didn't think Jack Hinshelwood was that good when he came on.
I agree.
I thought he was misplacing a few passes. He just had a bit of a rusty game. But
that will come a time.
I know he scored, but he's dusting off the cobwebs.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, we'll give him some grace, won't we? Because they did absolutely shaft him last time at the county ground. So we have to give him a bit of grace. We'll let you off this time, mate. Just be better next time.
I mean, he scored on his return, obviously.
But no, it was. I think we've already discussed it, but the changes were actually, in hindsight, maybe a bit bemusing at the beginning when they were made. But actually, looking back, it looks like Hürzeler got it bang on. And even Carlos came on and actually looked decent. Like, I remember he won a few headers, he won a few tackles. He actually looked... Yeah, impact sub. But this is the thing, we've been calling for him to be dropped all this time. And not to say we're right, obviously, because we're not managers, but it did seem like that his team selection did benefit from Baleba not being there. Looked like we said, that first 20 minutes, we absolutely... looked like a really good side, and not to say that's all down to Baleba. I think that's a bit harsh to say that, but it did seem that potentially he does need some time out, maybe just to get his head right and sort out whatever's going on. But anyway, let's focus on the positives, because we were talking about Baleba a lot.
One positive.
Go on.
It just shows what man that Danny Welbeck is when he came.
Oh, that was brilliant. That was really
good.
Yeah.
He's like really gassing up Simas, and you could tell that he's really taking him under his wing, which you imagine.
That was really good.
Everyone knows Welle was going to do that. Obviously, Simas gets his goal, and straight away, Welbeck's over to him, like giving him his hype and like everything. It must be so good being a young striker, or even just a young player at the club and having Welbeck around you, but especially as a young striker, learning so much off him. A lot of players would probably throw their toys out of pram if they haven't scored. Strikers, they haven't scored a goal, come off a 65th minute, they might be annoyed with themselves or annoyed that they're coming off, but Welbeck's not like that at all. And it must be so good for the young players coming on knowing that Welbeck's gassing him up
for sure,
behind them, not competing with them.
And Gruder as well was very important in that goal, Jack. Let's talk about that second goal. It was one of those goals where you could finally breathe. I felt like when you're so like it's 1-0, it's quite tight. They're creating chances. You're like, oh, is this going to be a typical Brighton game where we look the better side, but then they get a late goal, and it was like Brentford when Igor missed his penalty. I was like, for God's sake, we were so close to getting a result, but then obviously it all worked out. It all worked. Let it all work out, and it did for us, thankfully. And Jack, that second goal, Gruder done brilliantly. I know it was a howler from, was it Morata, the centre back? He had a terrible time. Morato. He missed. Obviously, got caught by Gruder, and then the ball deflected off him and landed to Simas.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he backheeled it.
Yeah. It was very bizarre, wasn't it?
Straight into the path.
But great play from Gruder, and really well done on Simas as well for sort of just persevering.
And also, huge cracks for Gruder, finding the energy to get over when he got fouled. I mean, that was quite something. He did, watching that back.
I don't think that was a... Do you think he got hit?
Yeah. He
got, really? I don't think he did.
Yeah,
I don't think he did.
I watched that close up. I don't care. He got caught.
So have I. I didn't see anything.
There was contact. Enough contact to go down. He may have made.
But it was the way he went down though. He got shot, and I was like, "Why you done that?"
It was quite interesting. I saw a comment on North Stand chat that said basically that in that goal we received both. We should have had a goal, a penalty, and it was a dive. All three of them happened. It was like, yes, he did get touched. Did he make it a bit theatrical? Yes, but we scored anyway, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, it was the great little goal, and you could kind of see a goal like that coming a little bit. We'd had a chance probably about 10 minutes before that where Gomez almost scored, and Simas I think got a little bit unlucky. I mean, in my view, you've just got to hit.
And then Kadoglu had the follow up, didn't he?
Yeah, follow up. Yeah. And he's done the right thing. He's taken a touch, tried to take it around him. It's a great block from the defender, but. If he's a bit more confident, he would just hit that first time.
To be fair, Glenn Murray was on comms, and he actually made a really, really good point, actually. He said that if he had hit it first time, and it went in, everyone would have been like, oh, what a great goal, whatever. But then, because he tried to take it round him and show composure, and he didn't, basically, he was in a loser. Basically, what Murray was trying to say was like...
Catch 22, isn't it?
Like a catch 22. Like, whatever he'd done, it wouldn't have been that we would have, in hindsight, it's a beautiful thing. It's like, you can't really tell him in that moment what was the right thing. So, I wasn't too angry.
No. And also, I think it's, it showed a striker who was desperately trying to get his first goal. Who's desperately, and and really wants it, and it will just give him a bit of confidence. And it was great that opportunity came. That and I said
the celebration was great.
Oh yeah, and
I love that.
What I've been saying
dropped about 3 different celebrations.
Yeah,
So excited.
He wasn't a player.
Like the motor.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the
that's what Salah does, isn't it? Is it Salah?
Yeah, maybe someone does
I think
that.
he did it back in the day.
Did Cavani used to do it?
Yeah, Cavani used to do it. Yeah.
Boy,
What a baller.
yeah.
Mate, Simas, I don't know if it's just me, but he has such a unique run. You can really tell he's like kind of hunched.
Yeah, he does.
He has a really weird run.
He does.
I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah. But I've been saying
We can feel uneasy, does it, Ben?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It's just too much elbow, I think.
Too much over.
But no, since he's sort of had these sort of late appearances coming on, I said all that Seamas needs is a goal off his shin, a tap in or something like that, and that's exactly what he got.
Yeah.
And
It wasn't a striker's clinical finish.
No, and it was, it took a bit of a deflection on the way in, and it was a bit all over the place. But that's what you want. You want that, and it will give him confidence to have that sort of, that chance to just keep on hitting things. Because that's what you need to do. You just need to have the confidence that your ability is gonna work
Right through, yeah.
Yeah, rather than just sort of being and. It was something I always noticed with Neil Maupay, actually, is that almost when he didn't have time to think about the finish, he would score every time. But when he had the opportunity, like he was through on goal 1-on-1 and he had all these options either side, can I put it into the top corner? Should I just dink it over the goalkeeper? He always seemed to miss. And I think that's the same thing for Seamas, that he's just got to have that confidence in his ability to just be like, 3-2-1, hit it. And had he scored the goal that he did score before the first chance, I think he would have scored that first one, which was a weird analogy, wasn't it? But it was a bit of a weird analogy. Yeah. But it was great to see him get that goal, and I think Gruder did really well to work that. And I think, again, we'll get onto this. I'll do a final bit about why I was wrong about Fabian Hürzeler. But
yeah, I've got something actually that will tie into that actually.
Yeah,
which would be quite nice.
Again,
exactly what you're going to be
like Gruder was sort of a really quite inspired sub in that way. The last 10 minutes, have a bit of extra, but also go very narrow, because we did really pack the midfield then. We took Minter off, we took Kadoglu off, so we sort of stuck with the sort of. We changed the dynamic a little bit and made it a little bit narrow, a little bit more compact. And I think that was a really good decision to do in those last 10 minutes, because you're going to get those opportunities down the middle late on when you've got centre-backs. If you keep on chasing them, they're going to be a bit worried. They're going to be a bit all over the place, because they want to get the ball forward, but they also want to get it back to the keeper so you can send it long. And yeah, we perfectly capitalised as we should. So yeah.
No, it was a fantastic all-round performance. I thought every department was bang on. Everyone done their job. We worked till the end. We didn't let anything slip. Defensively brilliant. Going forward, we created chances. It was, would you say, actually, my final question on this, Ben, I'll start with you. Was that the best Brighton performance we've seen this season so far?
Ooh, maybe the best Brighton performance that I wasn't expecting. I thought Forest maybe would have caused us a little bit more trouble, especially away from home. Obviously, I think Leeds probably stands out simply because that was the first time I thought we actually looked like we had a bit of an identity. My brain is so bad anyway, so I can't even go back further than that match. But that one definitely sticks out to me. Jack might have a better answer as some random game from September.
Go on, Jack. Was that the best Brighton performance?
Quite impressive that Ben's brain is rotted so much he can't remember before.
Is that impressive? I don't think it's impressive.
Like before November, but no, I think most complete performance. I think probably the Leeds game sticks out a little bit, but
It's just copying you now, Ben.
Yeah, the Leeds game sticks out. I think the City game was very good. That was a really good performance. But I think in terms of like a most complete performance, that was our most complete over 90 minutes. Leeds were one.
They both have clean sheets.
They both have clean sheets, and I think the thing with the Leeds game is Leeds were monumentally shit.
I was about to say I would argue that this was a better performance purely because Forest are a better. Yeah, they're actually a decent side.
Look, let's. I'm not trying to over compliment them, but Forest aren't a team in 17th. They're not the 17th best team. I don't know what the hell happened with their whole period with Ange Postecoglou, but It happened. They were in their position. I think they've got some supreme talent in that team. I think Morgan Gibbs-White, as much as he's a moany bastard, and I don't think there's a more moany bastard in the Premier League, he is very, very good.
Do you remember he got sent off last season? That was great.
Yeah, that was
when Welbeck scored the free kick.
Yeah,
he lost
He
it.
also nearly scored an unbelievable volley.
Yeah,
that was so close. That would have been one of the goals of the month.
But yeah, I think it was the most complete. I think we sort of played for 90 minutes with one clear style, end to end. We did really, really well, and yeah, I thought it was a really complete performance, and it was everything that I've been criticising Hürzeler for over the course of this season was dispelled, and everything that I wanted him to do better, he did better. And it shows so much that, I'm happy to eat my words, and people change their mind on stuff. And, I do find there's this kind of weird thing after we win that a load of people sort of go like, we won! What do all the Fabian outers think now? And I was never really Fabian fully out.
And then we go and lose to West Ham and Liverpool.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, you know what? I did want to actually say that, Jack. I'm glad you said that because it reminded me. The table is so tight. One wrong result, and we could fly down to. I mean, look at Palace; they flew down. We could potentially be 10th. Do you know what I mean? So it can change in one game week. So it looks good right now where we are. But
and talking of Fabian, because I know we do have to just quickly go over that because like you said, Jack, there is a bit of. A lot of noise, especially online, about, is he still got an identity? So just to bring up a quote from Glenn Murray. So he was misquoted a little bit.
He was really misquoted.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, like that quote on the clip is not what he said at all.
No, 100%. But he was basically talking about their identity since De Zerbi's departure. And then Sky Sports, gave a bit of a weird sort of clickbaity title. It was Glenn Murray on Brighton's struggles since Robert De Zerbi. But, from our account, I did tweet something about like the comparisons. So just quickly, again, because De Zerbi does come up a lot. We always do reference it because obviously he did a great job for us. And naturally, we will compare, that period to this period, which is pretty natural as football fans. But just quickly, so this is someone's done a comparison between the two. So De Zerbi, 24 wins, 9 draws, 17 losses, 81 points from his first 50 Premier League games, first 50 Premier League games. Then Fabian Hürzeler, 23 wins, which is 1 less, 15 draws, 12 losses, which is 5 less than De Zerbi, and 84 points. So he's actually got more points than De Zerbi, and also we are in 5th position right now. So let's just quickly give him his flowers because we've been his critics throughout this podcast. We've had our doubts, whether that's inconsistencies, which I think is very valid. We have been massively inconsistent this season. Identity, which has been brought up a few times. Does he have a style of play? What is he actually trying to do? And I suppose third thing, which I've actually been very impressed by, like, his substitution sometimes gets a bit of under fire. Sometimes people are a bit bemused by his substitutions, which I think is a great word. But Ben, we'll start with you. How would you assess Hürzeler's time so far? In this season alone. Don't forget about last season.
Well, I don't know. If you told me about that graph, I just want to quickly say, and I hadn't seen the graph, I would have said De Zerbi. I would put my house on De Zerbi having more wins. Having more points. He obviously does have more wins, but it's
by one though. One more.
By one. And we complain about all the draws under Hürzeler, but that's what's paid off. And I guess then it comes down to Hürzeler's style of play compared to De Zerbi. De Zerbi was very much, we're going to score more goals than you, take more risks at the back, and that's probably why we did get quite a few more defeats. And those draws for Hürzeler look a little bit sweeter now. What was your original question, Matt?
How would you assess his time at Brighton this season? Like, again, he's come under a bit of criticism. Do you feel like that was warranted throughout, or do you still? Because to be fair, in our defence, we've always been Hürzeler in. I just want to clarify that. Not once.
Really.
There was a time. I remember there was one game where I was edging. I think I said Jack off air. I was like, this is the first time I'm really questioning Fabian Hürzeler. But generally, we've never said once we want him out.
I might have said some reactionary things on Twitter.
Yeah, on Twitter you have, yeah. But on the podcast, to be fair to you, I don't think you ever actually explicitly said
I've never moved
Hürzeler out.
I've definitely been leaning off the fence.
Yeah, I remember there was one tweet, was it after Arsenal, you lost your head and you were like,
I don't know why.
Hürzeler out. Yeah, I don't know why, but yeah. Ben, answer the question, mate.
It's been massively up and down, hasn't it? I also think that's hugely down to the connection with the fans. I mean, obviously we adored Roberto De Zerbi. like he was a fan. And even for me, still, Fabian's doing a very good job, but I still don't have that connection with him. And whether that will come or not, I don't know. Or maybe
Why do you think you don't have a connection with him, or what is it making you not connect with him?
I don't know. Maybe it's just lack of passion. He's a bit more robotic. He looks like an AI-generated manager. It's hard to connect with him on that sort of level. I know he's very passionate on the touchline. He likes a booking similar to Zerbi did, but there's just some sort of, I don't know, there's a bit of a barrier between him and the fans, it seems. I'm not sure what it is. I know he sometimes does.
But what do you want him to do more then? The question, I suppose, then becomes, what do you want him to do to connect with fans? Do you want him to go do a Klopp and start going, to fans? How can he gain that from you then?
I don't think he needs to, really. I mean, if he's getting results, then fine. And maybe that will come with results. But, I mean, looking at the graph, he is getting the results and he's doing better than De Zerbi. So maybe that just sounds stupid now. But I don't know. Jack might be able to help me here.
Ben's funny. Come on, Jack.
This is a funny one, really, that this has come up, because this has been a debate.
Do you not agree, though, that obviously
no,
people were connected?
No, I do agree. In terms of the connection element.
Agree.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting talking to, because this is a debate that's come up online a few times, and talking to fans, and I still find this thing with a lot of our fans, a lot of my friends, where they sort of say, like, they don't really get the connection with Fabian. And as time goes on, I'm struggling to sort of understand why they still feel that way. And I don't know whether that is because the way that he wants to do it, and he said it in interviews, and I think it is a bit of a German thing. A comparison which I've used a couple of times is Xabi Alonso when he's at Leverkusen, and it's not because Fabian is German, it's more of a German thing from their football culture. And because Xabi Alonso's not German, is he? He's Spanish.
He's not.
He's definitely not.
Good knowledge, Jack.
He's got an unbelievable one thing. Xabi Alonso's got an unbelievably good taste in music. He's a big My Bloody Valentine and Pavement and all the good bands. But anyway, moving on.
Yeah, please.
He has this. Yeah,
I've got to edit this podcast.
And
I've got dinner.
And what I noticed was that he would sort of stand back, and this was something that I went to West Ham away with Leverkusen, and I was in the away end, and the German guys I was with, they were sort of saying, if you look at Alonso, he never comes over and celebrates with us. And that was when they'd just got the longest unbeaten run in European football ever. You know, they'd finally beaten the Juventus record, over 50 games. But he didn't take the credit for it. And I like that from Fabian. He's the coach to give the players the platform to perform. And for us as English fans, we do kind of want this kind of warmth, this kind of fist pumping kind of thing where people walk over, and De Zerbi definitely did that. Like, he came over and, you know, knee slid, and you think when we beat Forest there, he like ran the length of the pitch. He didn't even shake the manager's hand. He absolutely, like, you know, he's drop kicking the billboards and stuff like that.
I think that's what Ben wants. He wants more knee slides.
Yeah. I do think people need to grow up a bit and get on with it. I certainly have found it harder than some managers, but I think De Zerbi was a roller coaster of a man, and it's a lot to get beyond that. And I do think I am getting a little bit fed up of De Zerbi comparisons. Not to.
I mean, you're the one bringing him up all the time.
No, it was. Yeah, it was true, but it's. I do get a little bit fed up with them, because I do think that actually De Zerbi did do a very, very good job, and they can both be appreciated in their own way. I mean, let's not rewrite De Zerbi's history. You know, in his first 50 games, or 50 league games, yeah, he got 81 points, but he also was playing in Europe, getting us to an FA Cup semi-final. You know, he was doing really well in that aspect. So he has that on top of him, as well as the points that he gained in the league.
Maybe if we do achieve Europe with Fabian, that's going to be... we'll have memories. Obviously, we don't have memories with Fabian just yet.
Yeah.
So that doesn't help.
And I think it's always going to be a problem for managers of this team. And to a certain extent, it was like one of Potter's foibles, and probably why he won't be remembered. Even though he did do a good job with us, really. He got us to our highest ever finishing position.
It's because he snaked us for Chelsea, though.
Well, yeah, no, and but he won't be remembered, and a lot of those times won't be remembered as really good times, because we didn't achieve anything that we hadn't achieved before. And that's the same. Then with De Zerbi, we achieved Europe, which we never achieved before. And Fabian's got a really, really hard job, and we're probably giving him a high bar to achieve something that we never have with him before. So at the moment, the bar is Champions League, and that's an incredibly difficult thing for him to do, for any manager to come up with. And so we're always going to struggle with that. And I do think we do need sort of like a big moment with him, and then we can all sort of get on board. But I do feel the tide is turning. You know, this game was definitely, you know, I can feel suddenly people are talking a lot more positively about Fabian. And I do think at the beginning of the season, I think a lot of criticism was valid. We weren't intense. We were inconsistent. I think the Wolves, you know, you look at Wolves now, and that result looks worse and worse by each passing day. You know, Wolves could very much be as bad that they don't even reach Derby. Yeah, like they break Derby's record. And at the moment, we've given them one of their 2 points. And
Spurs, which is
Spurs are all over the place now, aren't they? But it's weird that we have been so inconsistent, but this consistency of the last 5 or 6 games, we are starting to shine through. People starting to warm to them, so we'll probably lose 3-0 to Aston Villa, won't we? That's what always happens, isn't it? And Villa is one of those teams which always seem to have our number.
Well, just quickly, because I do have to edit this at some point. So just quickly, let's talk about Villa, because this is going out very soon and the game's on Wednesday. So in terms of doing this whole separate thing, it's tough to do. All right. And we have got lives, as you'd be shocked to know. We do things.
I'm going to Canby Island tomorrow. Again.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Exactly. Jackson, Canby Island. I'm probably just sat in my room, and then Ben's at work. So yeah, we do have things to do. Right. So Villa, it's going to be a tough test, Ben.
Yeah.
Let's start with you. Very good side. I think, what is it? They've won their last 8 in all competitions, which is insane. They're on a real run of form. I'm pretty sure they have. I think they've won like 8 on the bounce. I'm pretty sure. I'll double check. Anyway,
they lost 4 Prem games ago to Liverpool.
8 out of 9.
Something like that, yeah.
Anyway, they are doing very well. They had a very slow start to the season, and they've really picked up in the last couple of months, and they're doing very well. Obviously, Unai Emery, an incredible manager. They've got Morgan Rogers, who's an incredible footballer. I think he's highly underrated. I mean, he gets his flowers, but I feel like he doesn't get talked about in the same, echelons as other players. And then they've got Jadon Sancho, so very much up and down for Villa. But anyway, very good side, Ben. How worried are you come Wednesday?
I am worried. I mean, they I know that it was against Wolves, but they've shown that they can do the European game on the Thursday and then play on the Sunday, which is pretty impressive. I mean, it's hard to say I'm impressed with Villa when they spent so much money. People go, oh, so good that Villa are doing really, really well. It's amazing they got to the Champions League because they spent a shitload of money. But they do have a good team, a fantastic manager, like you said. And yeah, I have PTSD about playing Aston Villa. No matter where we play them, they seem to get a result against us. So I'm not looking forward to it. It's an evening. I think, was it last season we played them at the evening at the Amex when they beat us?
3-0.
3-0, yeah. Sensio scored as well.
Shite
game, yeah, midweek.
But it's at home, Ben, and our home form is
that was at home as well, I'm saying.
Oh, yeah,
they can.
Yeah. But this season, we're unbeaten at home, so...
I know, that's true, but record are there to be broken. Yeah. I feel like the Villa fans usually make that away end their own. They always dominate that away end. They are very, very good. Maybe it's because they're just so used to getting a result against us and they like playing against us. But yeah, it's not one I'm looking forward to. But we are a team in form. We are 5th. It's a big, big game. I mean, especially in the table, the race for Champions League. That's how they should title it because that's where we are at the moment. But it will be a tough one.
If we win that, Jack, do you genuinely believe we are Champions League contenders?
Nah. I'm gonna do like a Claudio Ranieri sort of view on it, where
mate.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing when Leicester won the league, didn't he? He said we're going to be safe, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we'll get 40 points. Yeah. We'll do this. He never mentioned where we're going to go. So look, I think it's going to be a tough test. I think they're a really good side. I watched the whole game when they played Leeds the other week, and they were really resilient actually in that game. That wasn't a game where I would say they were outstanding. Where they absolutely blew them off the park. Leeds aren't that good.
If it wasn't as Michael Owen, Jack, but if it wasn't for that horrendous goalkeeping in the free kick, it would have been a draw.
Yeah, I actually think that was also a very nice free kick though.
The keeper should be doing better there.
The keeper should be.
Perry.
Yeah, but either way, they were resilient. They got the 3 points. They did what they needed to do to win the game. And Leeds at home isn't the easiest place to go this season. A lot of teams have gone there and dropped points. So I think and then again against Wolves, I don't think they were at their best at the weekend. They didn't, certainly only beat Wolves 1-0. They didn't look like a really strong performance, but they
got 3 points though, didn't they?
They got the 3 points, and that's what always worries me about Villa is they always have our back, and they always manage to do us. And Emery is a good manager. They've, as much as Ben says that they spent a lot of money, and they have spent a lot of money, money doesn't guarantee success. And they've brought in players of real quality like Marlon, like Asensio.
That squad depth is
it's really good, and that's probably why they're doing so well in Europe. I mean, European football is a very different prospect now. I think without the teams dropping down and moving around, that you do end up actually getting quite a lot of shit in the Europa League.
By the way, just quickly, Asensio is not there. He's no longer there.
Oh no, he's not there.
Yeah.
He's in Turkey. Right, that's like proper Mandela effect there. I'm
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he plays for Fenerbahce. I watched him. I watched him the other day. Yeah, Fenerbahce. I saw him on telly. I saw him in the kebab house.
Did you?
Fenerbahce.
Do you know? Actually, shout out to Turkish barbershops and kebab shops for always having Turkish football on in there. Like,
it's good.
That's
how I find out some of the transfer news. Oh, Asensio's gone to Fenerbahce.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great.
Actually, went past one earlier for the podcast. Now it was Galatasaray Fenerbahce on the TV.
Oh, that's huge game that.
Yeah. Probably wasn't live though. I imagine, was it? I don't know. Might have been. Anyway.
Jack's been following the Turkish fixture list. But anyway, finally on Villa, Jack.
Yeah, sorry, but they've got a good quality squad, and I think they've done, by the way, any Villa fans, we're probably going to get clowned for this because we've just said a player who is not playing for Villa is going to be a problem. I thought he was injured.
We didn't.
Yeah, I did.
We?
Yeah. But no, they've got good quality players in that squad. I think they've got quality across the board. You still see people like, Pau Lopez and Pau Torres even. And
our goat's washed.
Tyrone Morgan.
Yeah,
Kamara McGinn.
Oh, brilliant. Right, I'm going to save you, Jack. I'm going to save you. I've got you, bro. Yeah. Right. So, in terms of, just finally on Villa, I am quite worried about the midfield. They are stacked in midfield.
Yeah.
Kamara, McGinn, I know Onana's been injured. Tielemans, Rodgers, like that midfield. I am very worried about that midfield. And, it'll be interesting to see how he breaks that down.
Yeah, he's still there, isn't he?
Yeah, he plays. Joe Cole's there as well.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say just quickly. Any changes? Would any of you make any changes to the lineup?
Yeah, I'd bring Belieber back in.
You would?
Would you?
Yeah,
interesting.
I think he didn't play the full 90. I would swap him out for Gomez. I thought Gomez didn't impact the game as much as I thought he could. We've got 3 games.
That's fair. That's fair. With a rotation, that's much more understandable. If it was a week later, I would have been.
Wouldn't be surprised if Welbeck doesn't start as well.
Yeah. Game management.
Skaggley comes in,
and then
centre back.
Possibly.
But that's a lot of changes, though.
Yeah.
Would you make 3 or 4 changes? I don't think.
I'd make 3 at most. 3 at most, and because it is all about fitness, and this is where Hürzeler basically lost his head last year.
Oh yeah, remember
because he just couldn't, and a lot of foreign managers do struggle with this period for some reason. And De Zerbi had a real, he lost his head a little bit when we started having a lot of fixture pile up. And what needs to happen is you need to just there is no easy game out of the two of Villa and West Ham. So maybe we do need to make a few changes in the sense you don't want to completely change the team. Don't change the shape. Keep the shape exactly the same. Have everyone doing the basics, but just bring someone in and move them into a different role and just literally go role for role. So Seamas come in for Welbeck and just play Welbeck's role. Belieber come into the 2-man midfield and just play Gomez.
But it's easier said than done, though, Jack, isn't it? Just say go out there and be Welbeck, Belieber, go out there and be good.
Don't change the shape of the team. Don't.
I agree.
Because I think did Hürzeler go to a back 3 last year when we played Fulham? Played Fulham away, and he just completely changed everything, and we were just we were shy, to be honest, and it completely threw us. And what I would like to see us do is just play it simple, play the same formation. The only other change I would maybe make is Weaver for Veltman and give Veltman the midweek game. because we know he's solid. He's actually had a very similar right-back play style as Weaver in that position. Maybe protects Weaver from the yellow card, because I think he's had quite a few now. So he might be coming up nearing a ban. So, yeah, it's for me, that's the 3 changes I would make. Possibly only 2 of them, and maybe keep someone else in midfield. But, yeah.
Nice. Ben, any changes?
No, I'm just going to agree with Jack to save time. But I think an interesting was...
He's on 4 yellows, by the way.
Ollie Watkins, I think he's only got 1 goal in 13. That screams hat-trick against Brighton, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Loves a goal against us.
Balaba's got 4 yellows as well, by the way. And also, our whole defence pretty much got 3 yellow cards each. Dunk, Kadoglu, Veltman and Van Heck have all got 3 yellow cards each.
Well, hopefully they all get a yellow card in the same game, and then we lose them all at once or something. Only that can happen in Brighton, couldn't it?
Yeah, literally, all the same game.
I want to finish on this.
Go on.
If we're looking at our games, oh God, I've really screwed this now. If we're looking at our fixtures coming up,
have you not memorised them?
Should try and buy time now. Obviously got Villa, which is a big game, like I said, for the race for Champions League football. But following that, we've got West Ham. You'd say probably should get the result there. I'm going to be doing this now.
I'm not. Yeah.
Liverpool away. I know they beat West Ham, but that is West Ham. Maybe we can get a draw there. Then we got Sunderland at home. Sunderland, by the time then, I think someone said that they'll be missing 7 players because of AFCON. So we could get a depleted Sunderland. And then we got Arsenal. Okay, yeah, fine. Ignore that. Then we got West Ham away.
Yeah, move on.
Move on.
Yeah. Burnley. So those games until 3rd of Jan, we could make a real statement here. We'll pick up some big points.
Knowing what we're normally like over the Christmas period, we're going to do something stupid in one of the games.
Yeah.
Probably against Burnley, probably.
Probably against Burnley, yes.
Someone like that. Right, boys. Predictions, quickly.
Oh.
Jack.
1-1. Jack.
1-1.
Ben. 1-1 as well.
Yeah.
All right, I'll make it a hat-trick. 1-1. Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
1-1. Oh, I'll take a point all day against... But yeah, Villa. The Villa are a very good side. I'll take a point all day long. Boys, been an absolute pleasure.
Can I change my prediction?
Oh, go on.
0-0.
Oh, nice.
Brilliant.
Okay. I'll go 2-2 then. Banter. Boys, absolute pleasure. Huge win. Up the shagging Seagulls. We're going on a title charge. We're going to win the lot. Let's be having you. All right, and we'll see you after the Villa game, hopefully, because then it's a quick turnaround to... Anyway, but yeah, peace. Bye.